Love you all. Welcome all you lovers to the Florida Love Show. This is your love hour right before happy hour, sponsored by Florida Love. Join us each week as we spread love in the Florida community and transform the world with love. Now, back to spreading love.
This is for you, Kenny. It's the Florida Love Show, paying love forward is the theme. It's the Florida Love Show, hosted by Kenny and his dream. Every special guest brings their love to the set, and the interview flies, it all comes alive like a duet. He wears many hearts, so he has a very special side. In the Brooklyn Cafe, it's a big love buffet. With roses galore, man, you are adored. Come take a bouquet. Show your love wherever you can. Shine your light. Follow this man. Live your dreams. Plan your day. If you love them, you are on your way. Show your love wherever you can. Shine your light. Follow this man. Live your dreams. Make your day. If you love them, you are on your way. Shine your love wherever you can. Shine your light. Love this man. Live your dreams. Make your day. If you love them, you are on your way. Give the gift of love and pay it forward and go. Give a kiss, give a hug. It's the Florida Love Show. Love you, Kenny.
Love you, Sharon. So Sharon is actually on vacation this week in Orlando with her family. So I'm sure everybody's going to miss her. And I love you, Sharon. So I just want to say love you, love you, love you. And Sharon and I spoke today. She's having a great time in Orlando with her family. So love you, love you, love you all. Welcome to the Florida Love Show today. It is Dad Love Month, June. So we are loving dads today. We've been loving dads every single week of June. So we're going to be loving special dads today. I'm all excited to love dads. So I hope you all had a happy Father's Day and the best Father's Day, most loving Father's Day ever. And for me, every day is Father's Day. So I love my dad every single day. And I'm just going to bring him out to introduce you to my father. So this is Benny Love. And I'm Kenny Love, and he's Benny Love. and he is the love of my life. And Dad, I love you, love you, love you. You're the best dad ever, and you're my angel. So go out today and love your dads. Love your dads. Oh, yes, prayers for the building collapse in Miami. Absolutely. Loving prayers, Allison. Loving prayers. So at Florida Love, we created an initiative called the Florida Loving Hug. And what this is to go out and give someone a hug every day and say, I love you. And so I've been doing that ever since I created it. I just go out and give someone a hug and say, I love you. And now with, the vaccinations and, with no more mask wearing, if you're vaccinated, you can go out and hug people. So now's the time to hug people and love people, because we all want to love and be loved, and to love and be loved is the happiest thing. It's the best thing in the whole world. So again, I love you all. And, today was really amazing. I was practicing this. I didn't give them a hug, but I couldn't get through to a turning lane. And there was a guy right next to me, and I beeped him to move up. And he finally moved up. And when he moved up, I pulled to the side of his car, and I rolled down my window, and I said, I just want you to know I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. I love you. Like, he didn't have to do that. And he said, I love you back. I love you. I love you. So it's possible for all 7 billion human beings to love each other. So here at Florida Love, we're a nonprofit, we're a 501c3, and our mission is to spread love in the Florida community and transform the world with love, and really to spread love all over the world so all 7 billion human beings love each other. So talking about the Florida Loving Hug, I'm going to play the news. Oh, I love you, Dan. I love you, Dan. Awesome. Love you, Dan, so much. Oh, love you, love you, love you, Jennifer. Love you, love you. Please keep the comments coming. Let's just keep loving each other. So I'm going to play the news where I gave out roses to teenagers to say I love you to all these amazing teenagers. And that's what we call Roses for Change. So Roses for Change, when I go out and give out roses with a bunch of people, we call it a love march. And so I went out and I loved all these teenagers, and they hadn't heard I love you in a long, long time. So it was really, really special for them. So please play the news with the team.
We're continuing to bring you inspiring stories from our area about people changing their communities for the better. Tonight, WPTV News Channel 5's Chris Gilmore shares the story of a man on a mission to spread love, one rose at a time.
Roses are red, and Ken Lerman's suit is too.
Love you, Anthony.
If you see his bouquets, he has a message for you.
Man, love you, brother.
The 55-year-old loves love,
I love you.
and he now uses roses to let people know it.
I love you.
There's some pain behind Lerman's purpose. His Roses for Change campaign began this summer after he and people across the country witnessed the fallout following the death of George Floyd while in police custody.
How can one human being do that to another human being? Like, I was crying when I saw it.
Armed with roses and a message of love, Lerman says he wanted to reach those most affected.
I got to give this to all the African Americans. They're hurting.
His message has since caught on both online and in Palm Beach County, where he regularly shares love and roses to people of all colors. We caught up with Lerman with 100 of his favorite flowers in hand at the Milagro Center in Delray Beach.
A lot of learning goes on every day here in the Milagro Center, but today's lesson consisted of some flowers and 3 words going a long way.
I love you.
I was surprised, and I was like, oh, I love you too.
A lot of these teens say it's been a while since they've heard those words directed at them, and even longer since they have been given flowers.
It was kind of weird at first. I was like, roses, giving someone flowers. It was kind of weird because I didn't expect that, but it's pretty nice. It's a really nice gesture.
He said, I love you, you stay safe, and he told my grandma happy birthday too.
Lerman says he hopes the connection he makes with strangers leaves a lasting impact.
That's my mission every single day, to spread love in the Florida community and transform the world with love.
Because maybe all you need is love. In Delray Beach, Chris Gilmore, WPTV News Channel 5.
And you can help us share stories.
Love you, Chris Gilmore. Love you, Chris Gilmore. So these teenagers hadn't heard I love you in years. And so everyone, go out, let's love each other, go out and say I love you to everybody. And it's the most amazing feeling. It is total freedom. So for me, love is the absence of judgment, no gossip, no criticism, no anger, no hatred, no resentment. Love is saying, I love you. It's just love. And it's simple to go out and just say 3 words, I love you. So I love you all. So every week I play something around having no judgment, around missing someone, loving someone, going out and loving someone. So this happens to be a video where the son is ignoring the mom. And again, life is short. I always say life is short, and I could pass right now on this show. So please play the video to love someone and not take them for granted.
So, how's work been?
It's all right. How about you?
It's been good. Have you seen Mom lately?
Not lately, no.
I saw her last week. She really misses you. Talks about you more than anyone else.
Yeah?
I'm going next week to see her. Do you want to come with me?
I'll let you know. They're winning. It's fine.
So Hoover and McRae.
Yes. Yes. Ouch.
You were racing in college? Really? You good play?
Oh, more like I was in the school play.
Oh, so people pick numbers, and then you're just gonna have a thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, David. It's Mom. I'm just calling to say hi. You should call me when you can, okay? Miss you. Bye.
Oh, so
Wait, you guys all do something? I thought you were serious.
Huh? Oh yeah. Alright, was a good move. Tomorrow will be home. Singing? Yeah. I think I
Hey sis, what's up?
Have you talked to Mom lately?
Not lately, no.
Yesterday I was at the hospital with her.
Hospital?
The doctor says that she has Alzheimer's.
Is everything okay?
Mom has Alzheimer's. She didn't even recognize me.
What?
I don't know what to do. Can you come here?
Yeah. I'll be right over.
I know people who've been through this exact situation. Imagine telling someone you love them, but they don't even recognize who you are. Imagine now being able to pick up a call or call that person, but for them to not recognize the history. It is so rare to have love in our lives. It's even more rare to have people around us that really care for us and that support us. But we're so busy looking for love in other areas that we forget the people who love us that are right there in front of us. We think to ourselves that we have time. There'll be another chance. We believe that people will always be around until something like this happens. Don't take people for granted. They may love you forever, but they may not be around forever. When someone's trying to keep in touch, whether it's a message they send us, whether it's them trying to call us, when we're busy, all of that seems like a burden, it seems like stress, it seems like pressure. But when we recognize that that moment may never happen again in the future, we learn to value it. We learn to appreciate it. We learn to recognize how truly valuable and priceless it is. Appreciate what you have before it turns into what you had.
Appreciate what you have before it turns into what you had. So, I mean, perfect example, my dad passed away June 10th, 1996. I actually was calling him on the phone that day, and there was no answer. Just happened. So life is short. Again, I could pass right now. So go out and love everybody, because they may not be around in a moment. Really, that's the way life is. Go out and love everybody. So I want to read an email that I got this week from Rebecca's mom, Rebecca Love's mom. So Rebecca was on the show 2 weeks ago, and her mom wrote me a email. Her mom is Andrea Love. I love you, Trutron. Love you, love you, love you, love you. You're the best. So she wrote, Ken, we saved your show for Father's Day. Love you, Tina. Love you so much, Tina. So that's Tina, the executive director of Hugs and Smiles Children's Foundation. So she's been on the show. She was on the show last week. And by the way, Tina's dad is now out of the hospital, and he seems to be doing okay. So let's send our love to Tina's dad, Arthur. I love you, Arthur. Love you, love you. So this is what Andrea Love wrote me. She said, Ken, we saved your show for Father's Day, and I'm so glad we did, because it is probably the most touching gift ever received on this holiday. Thank you so much for inviting Rebecca to be your guest and providing an opportunity for her to honor her father with such loving segments. Okay, and me. Love you, Andrea. That's her mom. Please tell Sharon that her song choice was one of my favorites, and she really did it justice. It will be a Father's Day never forgotten. And for your info, we danced. With love, Andrea Andy Callis. So the song Sharon sang was that we danced. And oh, love you, love you, love you. Shabbat shalom. Yudi's spreading love from Cleveland. Love you, Yudi. So they had the most loving Father's Day. And they danced. And Sharon sang that song to them. So I was moved to tears when I read this, so I wanted to read that to everybody. So go out and love everybody while they're still here. We only have moments, and again, I could pass right now. So I want to play, every week actually, I play a song from Love Songs. So we have different groups at Florida Love where you can spread love all over the world. So one of the groups we have is Love Will Keep Us Together with almost 4,000 people. All we do is say I love you, hugs, kisses, spread love. And so love and be loved, and it's very inspiring. Then we have Florida Love Dating and Networking, which people will go and they'll post their profiles, or they'll post how they're spreading love to meet the man or woman of their dreams. And it's grown tremendously in the past. Every day it's growing tremendously. Same thing with Love Will Keep Us Together. We have Love Circle, where we get together in person and say, I love you. Yes, it was a beautiful email, Tina. Love you, Tina. And so we have Love Circle, where we get together in person and say, I love you. Then we also have Roses for Change, which you saw from the news. We hand out thousands of roses and say, I love you. I had a day of love a few weeks ago at Victory City Church where I handed out roses to all the parishioners and said, I love you. And then we have love songs. So love songs started out a few months ago with one person. I mean, I'm so moved by this. 1,000 people joined love songs yesterday. In 2 days, 1,000 people joined love songs. We have almost 40,000 people now, with thousands joining every day. Now, what I love about love songs is that these are people from all over the world. So love all over the world is spreading. And every week I play songs from love songs. So you get to see people from all over the world who are spreading love. So I'm going to play father-daughter duets today because, again, we're loving fathers. So the first father-daughter duet I'm going to play it's a song called Shallow. And it's from the movie A Star Is Born. And they did it so beautifully, this father and daughter. I mean, they're so talented. And the background, I mean, is incredible. So please play Shallow.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times I fear myself.
Tell me something, boy. Are you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times I fear myself. I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Crash to the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow. In the shallow. In the shallow. We're far from the shallow now. Oh, I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Crash to the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow. In the shallow. In the shallow. We're far from the shallow now.
Wow. The hug at the end, the high five and the hug. I mean, they love each other so much, father, daughter. And again, we're celebrating dad love today. The other thing I noticed is the daughter, her name's Karolina Protsenko. She's a violin, I mean, she's amazing, virtuoso. She's wearing a heart necklace. Now, for me, my whole car, room, life is surrounded with hearts, roses, love. So if you want love in your life, surround yourself with people who are lovers. Surround yourself with love. I always have roses in my apartment. So again, surround yourself with love. So I love you all. I want to bring on my first guest, who's very, very, very special to me. She's a world-famous comic and impressionist. Yes, what a beautiful song it was, Catherine. I love you, Catherine. I miss you. I'm so happy you're watching the show, Catherine. Yes, and what a nice hug that was. So I called my mom last night. I said, Mom, I love you, love you, love you. She said, love you, love you, love you. I call my mom almost every day and say, love you, love you, love you. And again, I don't know when she's going to pass. I don't know when I'm going to pass. So go out, love your parents, love your siblings, love everybody. So again, I want to bring on my first guest. She's so special. She's world famous, comic, author, poet, lyricist. She's also an amazing impressionist. So welcome to the Florida Love Show, Sharon Love. I love you, love you, love you.
Love you, Kenny. Thank you so much for having me.
You look so beautiful in red, Sharon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, so please tell everybody your love for your dad.
Well, my dad was very special to me in so many ways. He was very strong. And because I'm a little nervous, I put some notes down, Kenny. So I'm just going to do an overview. He was a very strong man, and I always felt very protected by him. He was my rock. And we shared a lot of jokes. My father's thing was humor, no matter what. He always tried, he would say laughter is the best medicine. And he was passionate about his real estate business. He would never sell a house that he wouldn't buy himself. And I remember when I was young, he used to fix up those houses by himself so that everything was just right. And in World War II, he was a brave lieutenant. And we talked about this. He was in the Battle of the Bulge, which was the worst battle, he said. And General George Patton personally led him right into it. And when he first arrived in the Army, he gave blood. And they gave him a medal to put in his chest pocket. And then one night during the Battle of the Bulge, they said, this may save your life one day, soldier. So he put that in. He always had it in. And one night during the Battle of the Bulge, he left his tent to get medical supplies, and he felt the force of something hitting him so hard. He didn't know what it was. He was looking around to see where he was hit, but he didn't see it. He came back into his tent, brought the supplies to his men, and that night, as he took off his shirt, a flattened bullet fell to the ground. So that piece of metal truly saved his life. It was dented but not pierced. So my father became very religious. I mean, he was always religious, but I think more so. He felt that God really saved him and helped him during this whole World War II ordeal. He also liberated some of the prisoners in Buchenwald, and there was another Wurzburg work camp. I think we talked about this, Kenny. You said your father also liberated prisoners. Yes, he carried them over his shoulder. He said he couldn't believe what he was seeing. One of them was a very famous rabbi, Weinberg, who was a scholar. And anyway, my father was always very strong. When he came back from the Army, he married my mom. He fell in love with this woman. She was the rabbi's daughter, and a very beautiful woman, and they were married for 65 years. And I never saw my father cry up until John F. Kennedy died. It was a Shabbat evening, the Sabbath. We were sitting at the table, and tears just streamed down. It was very scary for us. And then the next day we were walking to synagogue, and my father actually apologized to my sister and I for witnessing him crying. He didn't want us to see that. Let's see, I just think that I didn't see any tears from my dad after that until my brother passed away at age 26. He died on the battlefield, fighting for the land of Israel. And things changed then, and he was always telling us that he loved us because he realized that you can never say it enough. And maybe he never had enough chance to tell my brother. So it was too late then. I did read a eulogy for my father, and at the end of that eulogy, I wrote a little poem, and I said, I'll miss your laugh, I'll miss our jokes, I'll miss the hours that we spoke. I'll miss your kindness and your good deeds and the great advice I'd always heed. Your absence, Dad, will be a shock. I'll miss your strength, you were my rock. The dad I loved who always cared, I'll treasure all the time we shared. I won't accept that we're apart, 'cause Dad, I'll keep you in my heart.
So Allison wrote in that her dad was also in the Battle of the Bulge. You know, God is spreading love right now, crazy coincidences. My dad liberated Buchenwald.
Yes.
And again, they were under Patton in World War II.
Right.
Yeah, and both Jewish.
Yes.
Yes, and
Did your dad talk about it, Ken? Because my father didn't mention it until the last 8 years of his life.
yeah, so my dad brought home pictures
He did.
of the horror of just bodies, dead bodies upon dead bodies. And you know, it's interesting. I'm thinking now, you know, this is my dream, that the world, we all love each other and we all get along. I think it started from those pictures. You know, I always say it started when I was like 2 or 3. I think I found those pictures when I was 2 or 3, and I saw that horror, and it scared me so much that I said, you know, this can't happen. We got to just love each other. We got to get along. And ever since that moment, I remember being 2 or 3, I always said, let's all love each other. Let's all get along. Like, I used to look at people who fought when they were angry, and I was like, why are people fighting? Let's just love each other. So this is my dream, that we all love each other. And it started when I was 2 or 3, but he had pictures, and they were horrific. Bones on top of bones.
Well, that's it. And my mother always made sure that I was looking at the documentaries as a young child, so we'd understand and never forget.
Yeah, but my father never talked about it. But my mother and father became agnostic after, because they didn't know whether to believe in God after 6 million Jews were killed. It really affected them.
That's how it was for some people, but it was the opposite for my father. Very religious, always praying. He prayed for me. He prayed for anybody that needed a prayer. If I said, Daddy, this person needs your prayer, he's sick, that person would be on his prayer list. So it was the opposite for him.
Yeah, so he dove right into the Jewish religion and
Totally.
became religious.
Absolutely.
Now, my mom, when she was 4, her dad went back to Europe in 1938. He never came home. So for my mom and my dad both, they witnessed the horrors.
Oh.
So that's the way they went. But again, your dad became more religious. That's
Yes.
how he jumped right in.
He believed that God did save him. He was a fatalist during the war. And, you know, that medal that saved his life, you know, and hit him in the heart. But it was just dented, not pierced. So saved his life.
So God saved his life.
Yes.
So now your dad gives you your comedic ways, because he was a comedian.
Yes. Well, as a hobby, he was. I think in his real estate business, they had some kind of a round table thing where he would be the comedy guy. And also, even when he was in assisted living, they had Myers Comedy Hour. So he always had a joke. No matter what subject it was, he had a joke for it.
Yeah, so you grew up with your dad telling jokes.
Always. Some of the silliness that I have today is because of my dad. Some of the jokes in my act are jokes that he's given me. So, yeah. And I always asked him for his prayers, Dad, please, you know, I need you. And he was always there. And he'd say, you're going to do well. And before he passed, I remember saying to him, I'm going to talk to you every day, Daddy. You're going to be all right, because you always looked out for us, and I know you'll continue to do it.
Beautiful. Well, when I made this slideshow, I was in tears. Your dad is so special.
Yes.
He's so handsome. He's such a beautiful man. I see love in his eyes. He just loved everybody. That's what I see.
Thank you. It's true.
And he was your rock.
Yes. He always gave charity. He always cared. And I remember working for him when I was 15 years old. Some man off the street came in, and my father gave him a $10 bill. We're talking it was like the mid-60s or beyond, and it was just like giving a $10 bill was like giving somebody $50 back then. I said, Daddy, why did you do that? He needs it. I can see. And he didn't worry about himself. He worried about other people.
Yeah, so that's pure love, to worry about other people's happiness. You're so beautiful, your dad. And they called him Mike, not Meyer.
They called him Mike. My mother would say Meyer sometimes, but the kids, I would say his nieces and nephews, Uncle Mike. So, yeah.
Uncle Mike.
Yeah.
So I want to play the slideshow of your beautiful dad, Mike, right now, so people can get an incredible idea what an amazing dad he is. So please play Mike's slideshow.
Thank you.
Yeah, so when I made it, tears. In some of those pictures, he looks like Marlon Brando. So handsome.
Thank you. I always thought he looked like Paul Newman.
Paul Newman, exactly. So Paul Newman, Marlon Brando, like a famous actor.
Yeah, I was a little, choked up with that, with that beautiful slideshow. Thank you. So beautiful.
You're so welcome. So I was thinking, you talked about him being your rock. Well, there's a mother-daughter couple that I saw that I thought of your dad when I saw this. So I want to play the song for you and your dad, to love you and your dad, since he's your rock. And it's sung by a mother-daughter duet, Matt and Savannah Shaw. So I want to play this song to love you and your dad. So please play this song.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles clouds come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger.
Each restless heart beats so imperfectly.
But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas.
I am strong when I am on your shoulders.
You raise me up to more than I can be.
You raise me up.
You raise me
so I can stand on
up to stand on mountains.
You raise me up.
You raise me
to walk on stormy
seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders.
You raise me up to more than
You raise me up
when I am down
to more than I can be.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so when I made the slideshow and I saw that, I said, your dad always raised you up.
Oh, yes, very much so. I miss him terribly. He's only been gone since November of 16, so that's not very long. We'll be going on 5 years in November. I talk to him every day, and my mom.
Who is Yudi?
Yudi is a very good friend of mine from Cleveland, and he was a friend of our family's.
Wow, well, he just wrote in what an amazing man your father is.
Thank you, Yudi. Yes. He knew him well, and Yudi would visit my father in the nursing home during his last days, his last years of life. So he was a very special person, and I always appreciated Yudi. He's a good friend, very good.
So when you see that slideshow, first, who's in that slideshow, and what is it like for you?
Well, it's all the memories. It's the happy memories, really, of me sitting with my father, of my father being at a happy event. And just when we were with him, it was just so great, especially in my adult years. You know, during the growing up years, my father was a very busy man. Real estate is all kinds of crazy hours. And so maybe he would have wanted to spend more time with us. But you know, when things slowed down in later years, I treasured the time that I had with him. Always precious.
So you had wanted to sing him a song today.
If I can do it without crying.
Okay.
Well, it talks about, and I know that you love this song.
My favorite.
You know, that there's really not that much time. The kids grow up, and we're always trying to spend time with them, but is it ever enough? So whenever you're ready, I'll do that.
Okay, great. So let's play.
It's called The Cats in the Cradle by Harry Chapin. A child arrived just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking for I knew it. And as he grew, he'd say, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. The little boy doing the man on the moon. But when you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. Well, my son turned 10 just the other day. He said, thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw? I said, not today, I got a lot to do. He said, that's okay. And then he walked away, but his smile never dimmed. He said, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. The little boy doing the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. When he came from college just the other day, so much like a man, I just had to say, son, I'm proud of you. Can you sit for a while? He shook his head and he said with a smile, what I'd really like, Dad, is to borrow the car keys. See you later, can I have them? And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. The little boy doing the man. But when you're coming home, son, I don't know when. We'll get together then, Dad. You know we'll have a good time then. When my mom since retired, my son's moved away. I called him up just the other day. I said, I'd like to see you if you don't mind. He said, I'd love to, Dad, if I can find the time. You see, my new job's a hassle and the kids have the flu. But it's sure nice talking to you, Dad. It's been sure nice talking to you. And as I hung up the phone, it occurred to me, he'd grown up just like me. My boy was just like me. And the cat's in the cradle and a silver spoon. A little boy doing the man on the moon. But when you're coming home, son, I don't know when. We'll get together then, Dad. We're gonna have a good time then.
Beautiful. That
Thank
was so
you.
beautiful, Sharon.
Glad I got through it myself.
So I love you so much.
Love you, Joe.
Love you, love you. I want to thank you so much for being on the Florida Love Show today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm so happy I got to give honor to my father and my mother. It's truly an honor. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome again. Love you, love you.
Love you too.
Great. So
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
You're welcome. So I'm going to introduce my second guest now, who's very special to me, and her dad is very special to me. And so please come up, Dannie Love. And Dannie Love has the most beautiful British accent in the whole world. I called her this week and I said, Dannie, will you please just speak to me with that British accent? And the
What would you like me to say?
anything and everything,
You
Danny.
know we're kind of different in the UK, don't you?
Yes.
I don't know what I want to say to you, Ken. I would say hello, and I love what you do. That's what I'll say.
I love you so much, Danny. All right, we're going to lower the mic for Danny. Yeah, so we can see you. A little lower so we can see her face. Perfect. Perfect.
Thank you.
So Danny, I love you so much. And, you know, I said, so please speak to me with that British accent. My phone has a British accent.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I've been away a long time, Ken. I left Britain when I was 19. So kind of a long time ago.
So
but you do retain it. For whatever reason, you do retain it.
So please tell everybody about your beautiful dad, Sid, and what you love so much about him.
Oh, my dad. Oh, the fact that he just let me be me. That's basically it. He just allowed a mischievous kid to be a mischievous kid. He put up with everything, including telling me to hide when my mother was coming. But I was just a mischievous kid, and he was amazing. He was the one that taught us to play cricket and football and things like that, because growing up in London after the war years was not exactly what you would call in America. It wasn't a bowl, but we didn't know any better. We thought we had everything, and indeed we did have everything in a way. We really did. We didn't know that we were missing anything, except I think I'd heard about pink bubble gum in America, which we could not get in Britain at that time. We had other things, but not pink bubble gum. So, yeah, very, very different bringing up than you guys had here, Ken, really, totally different. I mean, we used to have to be careful after school. The safest place for us to go was back to school again, because there were still bombs being, you know, around, and not massive things like we have before, but it wasn't safe. It just wasn't safe. So in the school was the gym, and the gym, that's why I've been doing gym all my life. That's where it came from. I don't know if I would have been like that otherwise, but there was so much of it for so many years. And we were street kids, basically street kids. So we played in the street, and my dad taught me to play everything so I could be as good as the boys. And we had so much fun. He was an angel. He really was. Yeah.
So your dad taught you to be yourself. He taught you to be an athlete. He taught you to work out and be...
He wanted me to be whatever I wanted to be.
Whatever you wanted to be.
Yeah, he would just encourage me. You know, there was no criticism. There was no judgment. It was just not do what you want, but there were guidelines set up. Don't get me wrong. There were guidelines, but they were very soft guidelines. And when you have soft guidelines, it's easier. My mother, on the other hand, well, that's a whole different story.
Yeah. So you've handed it down to your whole family. Everybody in your family works out.
Yes, from the gym, absolutely. The grandkids, all 6 of them, Tanya and Lindsay, of course, and you know Lindsay very well. All of us. All of us.
In a way, it started with your dad.
In a way, yeah. He was the one that taught us. And funnily enough, Ken, he actually had asthma. So it was not easy for him to teach us those things. But, you know, he was the one that made the time to play with us. And that is something I'll never forget. I mean, we had a backyard, was like, by American standards, a postage stamp. But we still had room from the one fence to the window at the back, and that's how we played. We didn't know any better. We really didn't. And it was just fun.
So beautiful. So I want to introduce everybody to your handsome, amazing dad, Sid.
So sweet.
And so I want to show everyone the slideshow. So please play the slideshow of her beautiful dad, Sid.
Thank you. That was so beautifully put together. Thank you, Ken. I know we didn't have very much to work with because my photos are in storage right now, but you did an amazing job. Thank you. It's a lovely tribute to him.
So to love you and your dad, again, I was watching duets between fathers and daughters.
Right.
And this song came up, and I said, that reminds me of Dannie and Danny's dad and the relationship they had. So to love you and your dad, I'm going to play you a song.
Thank you. This is a surprise. I didn't know.
So please play this song.
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged, though I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all. The darkness inside you can make you feel so small. Show me your smile then. Don't be unhappy, can't remember when last saw you laughing. This world makes you crazy, and you've taken all you can't bear. Just call me up, and I will always be there. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you.
So don't be afraid to let them
show true colors. Your true colors are beautiful. I see your true colors are shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors.
True colors are beautiful.
Like rainbow.
Oh, like a rainbow.
You can't remember when I last saw you laughing. This world makes you crazy, and you've taken all you can bear. Just call me up, 'cause I will always be there. And I see your true colors shining through. See your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors.
True colors are beautiful.
Like a rainbow. Ooh, like a rainbow.
That was so nice, Ken. Thank you so much. Very well chosen.
Yeah,
Lovely song. Thank you.
Yes, so your dad saw your true colors like a rainbow.
Oh, yeah.
And he let you be free to be your true colors.
Yeah, my mother said, I don't know where she came from. That's what she said. I don't know where she came from. And my dad just smiled. I was very, very lucky. Lovely memories. Very nice memories. I wasn't there when he passed away. I missed him by about, let me see, I'm going to say 18 hours, because the plane from where I was living then in Toronto to London got mislaid because it was the Gulf War in 1991 in February. And that was murder. We were transferred off of the plane and had to wait for another plane, and then I had to stop in Paris. So almost 24 hours later, I got there. So I did not get a chance to say goodbye, but we spoke, I'm going to say at least 3 times a week. And I went home very often with the kids. So I didn't feel that they really missed out, my parents, on too much. It was a priority. I always had the money to go home.
What would you love to say right now to your dad before the end of the show?
You mean without choking up? That's a tough one. I just love you. That's all I could say. I love you. I wish you were here. And like Sharon said, I talk to my dad. I talk to him every so often. I think he hears me, but I just love him. That's all I can say.
Say exactly what you said.
I know.
And
It's a wonderful word, isn't it?
It sure is. I just love you.
Powerful.
I love you. And he's my angel.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, I love you so much. I really, Danny, I want to thank you so much for being on the show today and sharing
It was
your
my
dad.
pleasure. It was my pleasure. I got to meet Sharon and her husband and everything. It was really nice. And she was very, very interesting, by the way. And I loved the song and I loved her singing. Absolutely great. Really. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ken.
You're welcome so much. Keep being your true colors like a rainbow. It's so beautiful, Danny.
I hope so.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
So again, I love you, love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Love you too.
So I want to thank everybody for watching the Florida Love Show today. And go out and love everybody in your life. Go out, say I love you. And again, life is short. So go out, call, go over there, anything. Say I love you. And as I say at the end of every show, who can you give a rose to? I love you.
You've been listening to the Florida Love Show, where we've been spreading love in the Florida community. For more information, please contact me, Kenny Love, at 917-699-1995 or ken@florida-love.com or on our website, florida-love.com. See you next week, 3 p.m. Friday for the Friday Love Hour. Keep spreading love in your life and have a loving week. Love you all.